So what I'm about to play you, Year 7, is a piece of music that has multiple layers of sound. Okay? And when we're talking about the layers of a piece of music, we call that concept texture. I want you to get your hand out, and I want you to count on your fingers how many layers of sound you can hear in the piece. And when I stop the music, I want you to put your hand up and I'll pick someone to tell me how many layers. So here we go. Hands up, please. How many layers did you hear there? Christian?
5.
5?
6.
Hands up if you heard 6.
I heard 5.
I heard 6 as well. Well done. The last layer was very difficult to hear. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you the same thing now, and you're going to watch it on the screen. Alright, it's going to take a couple of minutes for the screen to load. I want you to listen to it now. So there you can see, this is called graphic notation. So graphic means that there are images, and notation means that it's written down. Okay? So instead of writing A, B, C, D on the second line or the third line or in a space, this is a way of writing down music that's really easy to see straight away. Okay? Let's go back to, these are the 6 layers. Okay? Okay. Now we're going to talk about how are these layers unique. So, let's talk about the duration of these layers. Okay. Now duration means anything to do with time or length. So, which one of these notes would you say are playing the long notes or the sustained notes in the piece? Marianne. What would you say, Isabella? Let's have a listen to it. I think it's the first layer, the green dots. Now let's have a quick listen.
You ready to the microphone, guys?
Okay. You can see that the green dots are playing much longer, and actually, I think these green dots should actually touch each other. Because can you hear? Is there a big gap between each of these?
Yes.
I'm not hearing a gap there. I'm hearing dom 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 dom. So these should actually be a bit longer. So the green layer is, the green layer is playing long sustained notes, and the black layer is playing short notes. Okay? So let's have a look now at the tone colour. Now the tone colour is what each individual instrument sounds like. Now these are 2 different sounds. So you need to tell me, how do these sound differently? All right, what does the green sound like? And I'm not talking about long or short, I mean how does it actually sound different to the black layer? Okay? I'll give you one more listen. Alright, this is the green layer. Alright, what instrument is that, Anthony? Is it a trumpet or? It's a drum. Good. What type of drum do you think it is? Excuse me. Is it a high-pitched drum or a really low-pitched drum, Stephen? Stephen, I asked. Thank you. Low. All right. So the name for that drum is a bass drum. Now, this is a big bass drum, okay? So remember, the bigger the drum, the lower the pitch, okay? What about the other layer of sound? Let's have a listen to the other layer. Alright, so does the black layer... What do you think that instrument is made of? Does it sound like it's made of metal? Does it sound like it's made of metal? Does it sound like it's made of brass or wood, or maybe there are some strings in there? Marianne, what does that black sound like to you? Excuse me. Marianne, what does this black sound, what do you think it's made of, this instrument? Yes. Very good. It is made of wood. And it's this instrument here. Okay? We used these last term with your percussion group performances. This is called a wood block, and this is called a beater. Okay? Alright, let's move to the next layer. Excuse me. I want you to listen to the next layer that's coming up. Alrighty. So this black layer here, I'll give you one more listen. What is that instrument made out of? Okay. Sean, what's this black instrument made out of here? Yes, it is metallic. Is it high-pitched or low-pitched? High. Okay. Does anyone want to have a guess what instrument it is? Emilio.
Triangle. Like that. It's called a triangle.
Let him finish, please. Thank you.
It's like pipes going down. And
yes, I think. Are you thinking of xylophone?
No, it's not.
Alright, this is what it... Okay. So, excuse me, settle down. Settle down. So, it's a glockenspiel. So, but let's just pretend that you didn't know it was a glockenspiel and you got a question in your exam saying, describe the tone colour of that sound. You would say that it's metallic. Would you say it's bright or dark? Very bright. It's very bright. Would you say that, so you would call it bright. Let's move on. Let's go back to, now later on in the excerpt, this blue layer comes in. So automatically, I want you to tell me what is the duration of the blue layer? What type of notes? So remember, if I'm saying you describe the duration, we're talking about the length of notes. And even if you haven't heard this piece, Marianne, what are the length of the blue layer notes? You've got short, long, short? Okay? So we can tell that straight away. Let's have a listen to the blue layer. Da, da, da. Okay. Henry, what's the blue layer? What type of tone color is the blue layer? Is it a violin? Who was listening? Charbel.
Triangle.
Yes, it's very similar to a triangle, or it could even be a triangle. Okay, so it's definitely metallic. Is it bright or dark, Charbel?
Right.
Bright. Okay. Is it high pitched or low pitched, Peter? High pitched. Good. Okay. Just wait. We're almost at the end. Okay. So, I want you to look at these layers and I want you to tell me what happens to the layers later on in the piece. Okay. Alright. Excuse me. One of these layers is the melody. Ermias, which layer is the melody on the screen? The stars? Good boy. Okay, what is the tone color of the stars layer? Well, it's female vocals. Right? Is it a group or is it one? It's a group of female singers. Now,
From Africa.
why do we call that the melody? Because it's the most obvious thing that we're hearing. It's the main feature of the piece. Have a listen to the melody. Okay. Alright, so we know what a melody is now. We also know what a beat is, because we know that the bass drum is outlining the beat. Bom, 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 bom. So it's providing us also with the tempo, which is the speed of the music. If the bass drum speeds up, everyone else would speed up with it. Okay, it's the bass drum's job to keep it steady and even and consistent. All right, look at the screen. There's going to be a big change in texture, and I want you to put up your hand and tell me if you can explain it to me in your own words. Okay. So what's happened to the texture there, Alexandra?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Like all the instruments stop.
Not all of them. We still have two layers. Good. So that means that we've had the texture has you could say the texture has been reduced, or you could say that the texture has thinned because there's less layers now. So we could say that the texture at this point in time is very thick. Excuse me, we're almost at the end. So when we have all the layers playing at once, the texture is thick. However, the texture changes and it's gone to just two layers, which is a thin layer of texture. So it's less busy at this point in time in the music. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop there.